Welcome, mga Mars, to the Chika Geeks podcast, where Hollywood, showbiz, and all things chismis collide. I am your
showbiz correspondent.
Ako po ang tagahawak ng Magic Mirror ngayon. Roy here, and we have with us the one and only Angela Chikadora.
Bago na yung pangalan ko.
Ay nako, ano ba naisip natin at ginawa natin tong idea nitong episode na to?
Well, wala pa masyadong movies na pwede mapag-usapan that we haven't covered yet.
That's true. So, yan na nga, dahil medyo slow week, kumbaga, in terms of movies and other TV stuff, magpipivot muna tayo ng konti lang. We're gonna have a bit of fun here today.
Chismisan muna tayo, basically.
Oo. Pag-uusapan natin para doon sa mga hindi pa in the know masyado, katulad ko, na ano ba talaga yung punot dulo ng feud ni Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
It ends in court.
It does not end with them.
Yes, it never ends, actually. It never ends. Lagi na lang may bago, lagi na lang may pasabog. And I'm living for it, actually.
Yes. I know.
Alam mo yung
pag nasa bahay tayo, may lang may kakalapitin mo. Uy! Alam mo, ako naman parang, sino yung,
oh my God, may bagong text na din na may mga bagong screenshots, may mga resibo.
Who? Tapos biglang makita ko, yung kay Blake Lively, tsaka kay Justin Baldoni.
Alam mo ba kung ano sabi ni Blake yung gano'n?
Oo, yung mga ganong. Oh God. So,
well, movie adjacent pa din naman to. Kasi ang daming mga references dun sa mga correspondence nila, dun sa mga exchange of text messages nila.
True. Kasi, nagsimula naman tong feud na to. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. By the way, disclaimer pala, okay? We're having fun in this episode.
This is for entertainment purposes. This is for entertainment purposes.
Only. No disinformation intended. Okay? Sige, sinabi mo na movie adjacent tong topic na to. So basically, this started when the film, It Ends With Us, went into production na yung adaptation ng libro.
Well, it started way before that.
Okay.
We have to understand how a director or how a studio options a book.
Okay.
So, it started in 2019.
Wow.
O, diba?
May pandemic pa. Ito na ba? Sige. Ano naman tayo? Bago tayo magsimula,
sige.
Don't forget, here on YouTube to like, follow, subscribe. Tama ba?
Subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
and comment down below.
Sorry, hindi pa ako sanay na nasa YouTube tayo. And also, our old podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right. Where can they find us on socials?
We are on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, and Letterboxd, and Blue Sky. We also have our website, www.cinegeekspod.com.
For the latest in movie, TV news, and reviews. Baka maging chika na din. Oh my God. Ayan, sige na. Pinasadahan natin yung mabilis yun kasi let's get to the meat of the topic. It's time for Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. Okay, so, Angela Chikadora, for our listeners or viewers who may not be totally up to speed about this feud. Okay? Let's meet our protagonists muna. Kumbaga.
Okay.
Sige.
The main characters.
Sige, maganda ata yan. Let's meet the main characters first. Sige. Can you give us like a very quick parang intro to who Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are, please?
Well, Blake Lively, of course, everybody knows Blake Lively as the wife of Ryan Reynolds. She starred in Gossip Girl and Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. Tapos, yung mga latest projects niya, medyo sparse. Actually, medyo konti. Pero ang recent niya was A Simple Favor, co-starring Anna Kendrick. Tapos, Justin Baldoni, siya yung medyo hindi masyadong sikat. TV actor siya. He starred as Rafael Solano in Jane the Virgin.
Mhm.
And he's also a director-producer. I believe meron siyang mga movies na pinroduce and dinirect. You can check his filmography on Wikipedia to know about his projects. Pero he is the co-founder of Wayfarer Studios. So that would be important later on.
All right.
Because the movie in question, It Ends With Us, was produced by his production company, his studio, yung Wayfarer Studios.
Yes.
So, the third player in this story is,
Ooh. May pangatlong player pala.
of course, si Colleen Hoover.
Okay,
Siya
yes.
yung author ng book
of the book. Okay.
that they adapted into a movie.
Mhm.
So, It Ends With Us was written by Colleen Hoover, and the book, It Ends With Us, tackles, finding love and going through domestic violence and abuse. So, medyo heavy stuff. Pero it has a cult following, yung book niya.
Yes.
So, it's very popular on Book Talk. Nag-number 1 bestseller siya. So, yon yung dahilan. This is why I said earlier na the process of how filmmakers option a book so they can turn it into a movie was initiated by Justin Baldoni in 2019.
Okay.
So, nabasa niya daw yung book. And by the way, Justin Baldoni is a feminist advocate.
Ayun. Okay, sige. So, before we move forward to yung how Blake and Justin are involved in the book. Okay, so basically, just to parang TLDR, yung sinabi mo about them, it's basically a fight between parang mid to high level movie star versus a TV actor, ganon.
Producer,
writer,
yeah.
ganon. So parang medyo merong konting imbalance, kumbaga, dun sa away. Okay, in terms of yung stature, popularity of these main characters, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay, so, ngayon, kakasabi mo lang na there is this third player in this feud, which is si Colleen Hoover, because she wrote the book, It Ends With Us. And it basically, this fight deals with yung how books are optioned by filmmakers to turn into movies. So, can you explain yung magiging yung connection nilang tatlo?
Yes. So, by the way, Colleen Hoover, there is a website pala ha. There is a website supporting all these info that I'm gonna dump here. I may not get some of them right, pero you can just, check the website.
I-link namin sa description box yung website na yun.
Nandun yung lahat ng mga resibo ng mga text messages, emails, and all that. Itong case na to. So parang grabe, sobrang lahat ng mga chismosa dyan. Sa Dumois, sa Fomois.
Mga Mars. Mga Chika PH.
Sa Reddit. Yan. Pinagpipiestahan nila ngayon yung mga text messages na yan. We always love us our receipts. So,
go. Sige.
So,
please go ahead. Yung connection nilang tatlo. Go.
Yan. So, I started with Justin Baldoni connecting with Colleen Hoover kasi nabasa niya yung book and he was moved by it. Sobrang emotional daw niya and he wants to produce a movie
based on it.
Okay. Colleen Hoover requested him to star as well as Ryle.
Okay.
So, si Ryle Kincaid, siya yung male protagonist nung novel. Siya yung love interest ni Lily Bloom.
So, ano yung pangalan ng isang guy na yung actor?
Si Atlas.
Yung Atlas yun, pangalan naman, no? Yung other guy?
Hindi, si Brandon Sklenar.
So, dapat si Justin Baldoni pala yung...
Hindi.
Okay. Sorry, sige, please.
I-request ni Colleen Hoover na si Justin Baldoni mag-star as Ryle.
So, the author basically asked him to star as the quote-unquote abuser in the book.
Well, siya kasi yung main character dun sa first novel eh. This is a series of novels.
Oh. I did not know that. Okay, sige, please continue.
Yon. So, book 1 pa lang to. Supposedly, first movie siya of, I think 3? Hindi ako sure. Pero, multiple, series of books yan.
Okay, I think the feud is starting to crystallize in my head. Pero sige, please continue.
So, yon. Nag-start na. Justin was able to get the rights to make the movie for the book. So, he cast Blake Lively as Lily Bloom. So, doon nag-start yung involvement ni Blake Lively.
Okay.
I don't know when exactly, pero nandun yun sa website. Check nyo na lang.
Okay. Sige. Sorry to interrupt you. Pero, yun na nga. So, we're getting into the creation of the movie itself. Very, very central to the feud occurring. So, Justin options the book and he announces that it's gonna be adapted. Ngayon, was Blake cast by him or was Blake cast by the studio that made that parang bankrolled this operation, kumbaga?
Well,
Who cast her?
basically, I'm not sure
Okay.
kung may casting director ba or he was handpicked personally by Justin. Pero Justin
She pala. Sorry.
is the co-founder of the studio.
Okay.
So he definitely has a say. And siya din yung nag-option ng book. So siya din yung isa sa mga deciding parties.
Decide nun. So, ano yung initial reaction from the book fans, kumbaga, when Blake Lively was announced as the female lead in this story?
Actually, from what I heard,
Chismis time.
from what I heard lang naman, I think most book fans were disappointed.
Oof.
Kasi
Okay.
the character of Lily Bloom is supposed to be a redhead.
Okay.
And then, she was supposed to be younger.
Oh.
So, nasa 20s lang dapat siya. Tapos, she's supposed to be parang a struggling businesswoman
Okay.
na nag-open nga nung flower shop niya.
Tama.
So, parang ang dami nagsabi na parang medyo overage si Blake for the role. Pero, I think binagay lang din naman nila yun kay Justin. Kasi nga, siya yung leading man. So, hindi naman pwede na si Justin Baldoni yung leading man tapos sobrang bata nung
Tama. Oo nga.
leading lady.
Oo.
So, I think, na yun, it depended solely on Justin Baldoni being Ryle.
Okay.
Kaya kumuha sila ng actress na malapit sa age niya.
Alright. So,
Yun lang yung theory ko ha. Personal theory ko yun.
well, okay. Sige. Okay naman. Kasi parang napaka big cultural phenomenon itong librong to from what I've read in passing lang naman before. Kaya sobrang parang, hindi naman siguro kasing level, pero right up there with yung parang casting news, kumbaga nung Harry Potter. Back in our day, yung mga ganun parang, ay wow, nakuha ba nila ng tama yung pag-cast sa mga ganun. Okay.
Syempre may cult following nga, di ba, yung book.
Alright. Tama ka. So, they were shooting the movie na. I think, ito yung medyo parang malaman na part na may mga...
Ito na yung meat nung lawsuit.
Ito na. Okay. So, basically, from what I understand, okay, what Blake is alleging, merong naging sexual misconduct on set while shooting the film from Justin. Yun ang parang punot dulo neto. Or at least from her side, from her camp's perspective. Allegedly. Can you walk us through the parang biggest examples of what quote-unquote transpired according to her perspective? Kaya sobrang parang down with Justin. Anong nangyari?
Well, I think we're skipping ahead.
Oh, sorry, sige, please. Go ahead.
Kasi, muna, bago tayo dumating sa lawsuit, which was a civil lawsuit na final ni Blake, Christmas, around Christmas time yun eh. Parang December yun eh. Christmas week.
Okay.
I just don't know the exact date. Pero, na yun eh. Parang yun na yung, kumbaga, tipping point nung tension nila.
Okay.
It all started dun sa promotion.
Okay. Sige, please.
Kasi nung
take us through
minamarket na nila yung movie,
that.
and nung mga red carpet events na, and yung mga press junket nila, fans were parang, they were curious, or they were parang, nagtataka sila kung bakit hindi kasama si Justin sa pag-promote.
Huh?
Hindi kasama si Justin nung ibang cast.
Oh.
Parang Blake was promoting it with the other cast and without Justin. Without no Justin to be seen. And ang weird kasi siya nga yung director.
Tama.
And siya pa yung lead.
Oo.
Siya yung male lead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, kung tama yung naalala ko, meron ako nakitang video on YouTube promoting This Is Us.
It ends with us.
It ends with us. So, it ends with us. Ano sabi ko?
This Is Us.
This Is Us. Nasa Paradise pa rin yung utak ko. Yung promoting the movie, It Ends With Us. Pero, ang nandoon sa video or yung sa promotional clip, si Ryan Reynolds tsaka si Hugh Jackman.
Which is weird. Isn't that weird?
Hindi kasi parang, alam ko lumabas sila around the same time nung Deadpool together, almost.
Yon. Magandang ni-raise mo yan.
Okay,
kasi
sige.
Around the same time, magkalapit yung release date.
Release date ng dalawang
nung
yan.
Deadpool Wolverine and ng It Ends With Us.
Tama.
July ang Deadpool, August lumabas ang
It
Ends With Us.
Okay.
So parang ang theory ng mga chikadora, they're trying to recreate a Barbenheimer event. Na parang It Ends With Us and Deadpool. They were marketing it together. Na parang, nanood ka ng Deadpool, watch this one also. Parang ganon.
Okay.
Na, kaya ginamit nila sa marketing ng It Ends With Us si Hugh Jackman.
Okay. Sige.
Yon. So, isn't that weird that Hugh Jackman is promoting this movie and not Justin Baldoni?
A film that he is not in, no less.
Oo nga.
Oo.
So, parang, yun pa lang, tapos yun pa nga, yung mga press junket, it's always just Blake and Brandon Sklenar and Jenny Slate.
Oo, naalala ko yung video na yun na, yung tawag dito, ililink ko siya sa baba, kung mahahanap ko siya, pero yun yung, ang tawag dito, ini-interview ni Ryan Reynolds at saka ni Hugh Jackman si Brandon Sklenar. Na parang may sinasabi pa si Ryan Reynolds na parang please be my dad, parang ganun.
Parang nga siyang series of inside jokes that we're not privy to. Ganon siya. Kaya parang hindi ko rin magets kung matatawa ba ako dito. Hindi ko magets yung reference.
Oo. Parang sa akin, yung parang tas hinila si Ryan paalis. Tas parang akala ni Brandon Sklenar, i-interview niya siya na matinong interview. Tapos biglang pumalit si Hugh Jackman naman.
Yung nanay pa ni Ryan Reynolds nandun, diba?
Pumasok pa yung nanay. Oo, parang, ano nangyayari dito?
Tapos, ang random ng mga pinagsasabi.
What's happening?
Exactly. Kaya nga parang, nandun pa tayo sa high ng Deadpool doon, di ba? Tuwan-tuwa tayo sa Deadpool. Tapos nakita natin na, okay, akala ko Deadpool promotion to.
Yun, tama. Kasi parang ang shot nung ano na yun, nung trailer na yun, parang may kinakausap si Ryan Reynolds mag-isa. Parang akala natin mag-isa. Tapos parang umiikot natin yung camera. Tapos pagtingin mo, si Brandon Sklenar pala yung kausap niya. Parang, wait, what? Wala naman siya dun sa Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oo nga weird talaga.
Di ba? Okay, sige. Please
so
continue.
yun, nandun na sa promotion. So, the way they marketed it, Justin Baldoni was focusing on the domestic violence aspect of the story.
Okay.
So, he's doing his marketing promotions alone. Nag-guest siya sa mga morning show, nagpapa-interview siya alone.
Okay.
Always separate from the cast and especially from Blake. They're nowhere to be seen together.
Okay.
Tapos, nagkaroon ng backlash kay Blake Lively around August or September kasi lumabas yung past interview niya with a journalist, European journalist, na parang naging rude siya.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yung
yes.
parang, congrats on your bump, parang baby bump.
Okay.
Kasi buntis siya nung, promotion siya ng movie ni Woody Allen.
Nakasama siya.
Cafe Society.
Okay.
So, that was years ago pa, na biglang lumabas.
Alright.
So, ito nga yung issue nung interview ni Blake Lively and Parker Posey. Ang interviewer was Kirsty Fla, European journalist.
I'm gonna link that down as well. Yung interview na yun sa description. Okay, sige.
So, they were being interviewed for Cafe Society.
Yes.
And yung opening nung journalist was, congrats on your baby bump. Kasi parang she was
pregnant at the time.
As in, malapit na yung due date niya, ganon.
Alright.
So, parang kinongratulate lang siya.
Okay.
Na parang, congrats on your little bump or baby bump.
Okay.
Tapos, ang response ni Blake Lively, parang, congrats on your little bump. Parang, yun yung tone.
Okay.
So, parang, after that, parang they never made eye contact. Tapos, ang nag-uusap na lang si Blake at saka si Parker. Parang, completely icing the journalist. So, medyo may pagka-rude. So,
Okay.
naging generally negative yung response kay Blake.
Alright.
So, add to that, okay, separate from that interview, yung the way she's promoting It Ends With Us, parang rom-com.
Oh.
Parang ang sabi niya, grab your friends, wear your florals, and head on to the cinema.
Actually, yeah. Parang when I first saw the film, or at least you explained it to me last year, na parang, wait, bakit? Tapos na eventually na-invite tayo to watch the premiere sa Mega Mall. Parang, napaka-festive nung atmosphere. Na parang lahat yun, bulaklakin nga lahat, ganun. Tapos, bumulong ako sa'yo, sinabi ko, di ba itong scene na to tungkol sa domestic violence? Bakit parang, this is like Avengers Endgame for women. Why? I mean, not that it's not parang that women don't deserve like an event movie na ganun. Hindi. Pero parang the level of excitement in the air that night felt very, very severely disproportionate to what the movie was about.
True.
Am I incorrect in that? Or what do you
ikaw
think?
as somebody na third-party
Nalabas
observer na hindi part ng fandom. Well, ako din personally, hindi naman ako fan ng book. I mean, I was not aware of its existence before we got to know what the film is and what was it about.
Tama.
Wala din naman akong parang prior knowledge. So, I was coming in there with no expectations, with no preconceived notions. And honestly, nasa Cinemalaya yung isip natin nung mga panahon na yun eh. Kasi August yun eh.
Oo nga.
Tapos Deadpool. So, parang okay. So, and also, the Deadpool cast are promoting this hard.
So weird.
Kaya parang, sige na nga, let's see what this is about. Tapos parang mukha naman siyang rom-com.
Okay.
So parang I was ready to, parang feel good movie. Kasi yun yung parang impression.
Tama. Kaya nga parang sobrang weird niya. Nung pinapanood natin parang akong, wait. Parang dapat ba feel good to? Parang hindi naman. Okay. Anyway, so, yun na nga, during the promotion of the film, they meaning Blake's side, was basically icing Justin.
And also promoting it na parang it is a rom-com and not parang acknowledging the heavy side of the story. Also, may isa pa na aspect na kaya nagkaroon ng backlash kay Blake. Kasi grabe yung backlash niya nung pinopromote pa lang tong movie eh.
I think this is gonna be tied into my next question in addition to yung kinikwento mo. Does that have something to do with the poster? Yun na ba yun?
Hindi pa.
Okay, sige, go.
Hindi pa.
Sige,
Kasi
sige.
yung poster parang before pa yan eh. Parang balik tayo ulit dun sa parang pre-production.
Yeah. Pero kasi ang nadidinig ko about what this issue with the posters, parang pinapatanggal ni Blake yung pangalan ni Justin Baldoni.
Yun nga yung parang weird eh. Kasi ang lahat ng poster, it's Blake's face.
Yes, basically.
And flowers.
Okay, tama. Yeah.
So parang, yun nga lang mag-isa lang yung name niya. And then, nilabas nga dun sa website, dun sa mga resibo nung lawsuit ni Justin, that parang Blake had something to do then with the poster, parang removing his name as a film by Justin Baldoni because he's the director, di ba?
Dapat, nakalagay dun.
So parang grabe yung power pala, ni Blake na kaya niyang ipatanggal yung pangalan ng director sa poster. And lagay lang yung pangalan and mukha niya lang na parang the director had nothing to do with this movie.
True. Sorry, you were saying that there was another issue before the poster pa. Please.
Hindi. The poster came
before.
before.
Okay,
So this is part of the marketing.
Okay, sige, go.
Part of the marketing also was, di ba nga, pinopromote siya as a rom-com. Sinabay din ni Blake Lively na i-promote yung alcohol brand niya. Tapos meron pa siyang mga cocktail names na parang While You Wait. Parang niname niya yung drink dun sa name ng abuser.
Wait, is she trying to be a female version of her husband?
That appears to be the case. Yes. Kasi parang ini-incorporate din niya yung mga brands niya, yung mga products niya into the promotion of the movie. Also, meron pang isa, yung hair care brand niya.
Okay.
She was heavily promoting it during the red carpet na parang, oh my God, goodness gracious, my hair care brand, ganyan.
Yun yung pangalan ng hair care brand niya? Goodness gracious?
Hindi. Parang Blake Brown, something.
Okay.
Yon. So,
Blake
parang,
Brown.
I'm not sure. Let me check.
Sige.
Blake Brown.
Blake Brown. Okay.
Blake Brown Beauty. So, parang, nagkaroon siya ng backlash because of how tone-deaf her promotion was dun sa movie. Na parang, this should parang shed light on the struggles of domestic violence victims, domestic abuse, ganyan. And bakit mo siya pinopromote as a rom-com and also promoting your products while you're at it? So, yun yung main backlash nung nung promotional stage nung movie.
Tama.
Ngayon, back tayo dun sa question mo kanina na Blake Lively was alleging sexual...
So, we're getting to it na. Okay, sige. Please do shed light on it. Ano yung ina-allege ni Blake?
Yung sexual harassment.
Yes.
Yung about doon naman, they dropped it nung December nga na parang alleging that Justin Baldoni was harassing her sexually. Ganyan na parang unwanted kissing, ganon. Sa mga kissing scene.
Okay.
Tapos, meron pang part na parang she was shown porn daw by the producer.
Huh?
Oo.
What?
Tapos, ang sabi niya pa na parang they came into her parang trailer while she was breastfeeding. Ganon.
Okay.
And that's just some of her parang claims.
Okay. Sige. I don't think we're gonna be able to list every claim.
Yeah,
Kasi ang dami ata.
Panoorin nyo na lang yung ibang mga YouTube, Ang dami ng mga comprehensive na, naghihimay kahit yung mga law channel.
Oh my.
Kino-cover nila to.
Kahit
And isa-isa nila yung
Kahit ba si Legal Eagle din?
Oo.
Oh, God.
Meron si Legal Eagle. Check him out. Okay. In-explain niya to. Line by line. And this is parang 200 page yata ng mga lawsuit na iniisa-isa nila. Parang...
I mean, to be fair, kay Legal Eagle din ako nanood ng explanation yung kaso ni Didi. So yeah, check him out. Magaling siya talaga, but especially when it comes to law stuff. Okay.
Ang dami nga nagsasabi na para daw tong Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. Kasi he said, she said, tapos parang labasan ng resibo, ganyan. Sinong mas matimbang ang ebidensya. Tapos yun pa, lahat ng mga claims ni Blake Lively, merong pang tapat na resibo si Justin. May video, meron siyang mga text messages na pinapakita na Blake Lively was the one who invited him to the trailer while she was pumping. Actually, pumping na parang lika, practice tayo ng lines natin while I'm pumping.
What?
May ganon.
Okay.
Tapos yung isa pa niyang, she also claimed in her civil lawsuit na parang Justin told her when she was wearing a onesie na she's hot.
Okay.
Ngayon, sinagot niya, ito yung nakakatawa. Tawa ako ng tawa dito kasi sabi ni Justin Baldoni, sabi ko, it's hot. Kasi,
oh my God. So, yung crux nitong away na to dahil lang bingi si Blake Lively.
Hindi naman. Kumbaga parang na-misinterpret niya na parang, ang sabi kasi ni Justin Baldoni explaining what that was about, na parang, ang ibig kong sabihin, the set is not ventilated enough. You are wearing a onesie. It's going to be hot. So, parang isa yon sa mga parang rebuttals niya dun sa mga claims ni Blake. That's just one. Tapos yung parang sinasabi na nga yung sa parang pinakitaan daw siya ng porn nung nung isang co-producer.
Okay.
Yun pala parang nagpakita lang ng parang artistic photo ng parang home birth nung wife.
Nung producer?
Oo. Nung wife nung producer. Pinakita niya na parang it's a home birth, tapos parang artistically shot siya. Kasi merong birthing scene, yung movie. So parang in reference to that,
okay.
Yun yung parang sinabi, kinlame ni Blake na parang she was shown porn by the co-producer. So parang, yun, yung meron silang answer to that. Tapos meron pa silang ibang answer to Blake's claims na, yun nga, yung parang unwanted kissing.
Okay, yun. I think sabi mo yun kanina. Sige. What about that?
In-upload, actually, or sinend yata sa media nung lawyer ni, by the way, yung lawyer ni Justin Baldoni, si Brian Friedman, sobrang, ruthless. Ang sabi pa naman niya sa isang interview kay Megyn Kelly, parang, are you also gonna sue Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Sabi niya, into oblivion.
Oh my God.
Oo, di ba? Grabe, villain. Sobrang nakakatakot. Super villain yan.
Sige.
Anyway.
Continue. Okay.
So, yung, yun nga, yung unwanted kissing na kiniklaim ni Blake Lively, merong video na sinend si Justin Baldoni about the scene, the sequence in the movie in question, na parang they're slow dancing, na parang merong game na nangyayari sa background, pero they were parang in a world of their own. Parang ito yung scenes na they're falling in love eh.
Tama.
So, parang ang sinasabi ni Justin, parang they can't get the right shot kasi Blake keeps on talking.
God.
And parang, ang sinasabi ni Justin, parang, let's just parang take a shot na parang di nag-uusap. Tapos ngayon na walang dialogue. So parang montage lang siya. So okay lang na mag-usap sila, hindi maririnig. Ang sabi ni Justin, parang, kami ng wife ko, parang we just look into each other's eyes with no words, ganyan. Tapos ang sabi ni Blake, kami naman ni Ryan, we can't stop talking. Parang ganon. Parang, we can never stop talking, ganon. So parang, let's just talk, ganyan.
Oh my Jesus. I mean, mukhang obvious naman.
Oo, I mean, halata naman sa personality nila, knowing Ryan, di ba? So parang, may ramdam mo na parang nagpo-push back si Blake sa direction ni Justin. Doon sa scene na yon. Tapos yun nga, yung unwanted kissing, parang, I think it's part of the scene talaga na parang they're falling in love and they're parang canoodling and almost kissing, ganon. So parang hindi naman ramdam doon na uncomfortable si Blake. Contrary to what she claims na parang harassment yon.
Okay.
Ito question ko din pala sa'yo.
Okay. Sige, go.
Kasi napaka-unique eh. Kung sexual harassment in the workplace, if it happened in an office setting, unwanted kissing, talagang yan.
Problema yan. Oo, tama.
Pero, paano naman kung trabaho mo, artista ka, tapos part ng trabaho mo, may kissing scenes, may love scenes, ganyan. How can you parang claim sexual harassment if it's part of your job and choreographed siya by, let's say, an intimacy coordinator?
Yan. I was gonna say that. Dapat, kung ganun yung trabaho, if it's the job, well, in this day and age, it's very important na merong intimacy coordinator. Ito nga lang just masabi ko lang, yung play that I watched recently for Concert Geeks, yung Next to Normal, walang love scene yun, may kiss, pero may credited intimacy coordinator on the production. So parang even interactions like that between actors, dapat choreographed and agreed upon ng both parties yung kakalabasan na trabaho. Diba?
By the numbers dapat kapag ka nag-shoot kayo or meron kayong ginagawang intimacy scenes, diba?
Tama.
So parang para sa akin, if you are in an office setting and you claim parang unwanted kissing, yes, that's valid.
Yes.
Pero, what if the scene is a kissing scene? Can you claim unwanted kissing for that?
Kung wala sa script.
Pero, ang sinabi naman, I mean, this was also said by Blake in an interview na parang there was an intimacy coordinator.
Okay.
And meron ding mga proof si Justin Baldoni, again, dun sa website niya ng mga resibo, na meron siyang kausap na intimacy coordinator.
Tama ba na ang pagkakaalala ko, may allegation si Blake na walang intimacy coordinator supposedly.
Doon sa initial claim niya, sabi niya na there was no intimacy coordinator. So parang yun nga, contrary to what she also said in a different interview that there was, sabi niya pa nga, thankfully there was an intimacy coordinator.
Medyo na yung claim ko doon na wala akong alam Hindi kasi kasi pumapasok na rin sa utak ko yung, alam mo yung panagbabasa
the news of this feud is everywhere. You can't avoid it.
Alam mo yung pag nakumpulan tayo sa sofa, may makita biglang, ayan, ano naman nangyari ngayon kay Blake tsaka kay Justin?
May bago na naman pasabog.
Okay, sige. So,
it keeps on giving, kaya I live.
Busog na busog yung mga Chika PH.
Yeah.
Yan. So, based on what you've said, okay, kasi I was gonna ask you na parang, in your opinion, was this like a misunderstanding or talagang away talaga? Pero, I don't think this is a misunderstanding. This is a full-blown fight.
It's a full-blown $400 million case.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, ganun lang naman siya kaano. Kasi ang dami rin kasing repercussions. May mga awards si Justin Baldoni na binawi.
Oh, God.
Because of her allegations.
Oh, God.
And nawalan pa siya ng work. Nawalan siya ng work. Alam mo ba, I just learned this from, I think, mga YouTube videos din na parang they were saying, this is unverified pero may mga rumors na dinrop siya ng Pac-Man movie. Siya dapat ang magdidirect.
Excuse me, Justin Baldoni?
Yes. Yun nga parang, nagulat din ako kasi parang wow. Pero he's a director, so... I mean,
yeah, pero parang nothing in This Is Us screams...
It ends with us.
Sorry. Nothing in It Ends With Us screams video game movie.
Well, it's funny you say that because
sige.
Yung It Ends With Us na final cut
alright,
was commissioned by Blake.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hindi lumabas yung cut ni Justin Baldoni nung movie. Ang napanood natin was Blake Lively's cut. Even though, according to Justin Baldoni, mas nag-score ng mataas sa focus groups ang cut ni Justin.
Wait. Sorry credited editor is Una Flaherty and Rob Sullivan. So, the meaning, kaya dalawa yung credited editors kasi si Justin cut is yung si Una, Rob Sullivan is Blake? Or vice versa?
Basta ang alam ko lang, ang sabi nila, kinuha daw ni Blake yung editor ng Deadpool.
Huh?
Oo, yung editor ng Deadpool ang nag-edit nung cut na napanood natin.
What? Hindi, iba yung editor dito sa Deadpool and Wolverine Dean Zimmerman,
Hindi ko nga din alam
Shane Reed.
Ang weird nga Pero, yun yung mga claims dun sa website. So, I don't know how true.
Okay.
Pero, grabe, sobrang problematic ng production na to, no?
Super talaga. Okay.
Kaya nga, parang it ended in court. It ends in court talaga. And the never-ending he said, she said sagutan ng mga resibo.
I mean, kung dito sa Pilipinas, pag resibo, ganyan, mas malala pa pala tong, hindi lang resibo to, website pa.
Website na. Meron na nga. Meron ng website.
Oh my God. Sige. Ito next question ko naman is partly gonna address what you're wearing. Pakita mo nga sa camera what you're wearing. Wow. Targaryen?
Yes.
Okay.
Only the OGs know.
Tama. Actually, yan, tawag dito, nakuha natin nung sa House of the Dragon pa ba? Na parang swag pack. Yes.
Shout out to Max.
Thank you, Max. Shout out. From what you've gathered, okay, which side do you think the fans are on? And what is the importance of what you're wearing doon sa question na yun?
Ewan ko, parang Team Black yata yung mga... Hindi ko alam sino bang Team Black and Team Green?
Team Black. Team Black si
si
Justin. Team Green si Blake. Based sa pagkakakwento
siya si Alicent.
Oo.
Parang ang mga netizens, parang mas more leaning towards Rhaenyra.
Okay, well.
Pero ito nga yung
Pero
funny.
Bakit,
Ito yung...
bakit Targaryen yung ano mo ngayon? Sige.
Yan, we have to address the Game of Thrones reference in this entire saga.
Bago tayo nagsimula mag-recording, tinanong ko, bakit? Wait, di ba ito yung episode natin? Ba't ka nakaganyan? Tapos in-explain mo sa akin kung bakit iniinom ata ako, munti ko na madura. Sige, go. For everybody watching, go.
May text kasi si Blake Lively about parang kino-convince niya yata si Justin to trust in her parang creative direction.
Okay.
And her creative input. Tapos, sinabi niya na parang if you get around watching Game of Thrones, you would appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. Sabi niya. And the two, allegedly ha, Ryan and Taylor Swift. Diba kasali siya dito? Kasali siya dito.
Ay,
parang, allegedly, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are my dragons. And they will fight for me. Kumbaga mga ride or die ko yung mga yan. Parang ganon. And they will parang get behind me and whoever I'm with. Parang ganon. So, parang yun yung medyo nag-show of force siya. Parang piniflex niya yung power niya kay Justin. Okay. That I have a powerful husband and a very powerful best friend. And they are my dragons that I can get them to attack anyone who gets in my way. Parang ganon. So parang it's a veiled threat if you think about it.
You think?
Tawagin mo ba naman silang dragons, di ba? Na parang this is what inspired me to wear my... House of the Dragon, may Targaryen hoodie.
Targaryen uniform.
Di ba sabi ko sa iyo movie and TV adjacent naman siya Kasi we also have to discuss yung movie aspect naman na sige. Reference.
Tama. Sige, tanungin kita bilang primarily as a cine geek. Okay? Ma-pause mo na yung Chika Geeks ngayon. Sa palagay mo ba, pag ginawang scene itong saga na to, magiging sobrang, engrossing na kwento. No?
Feeling ko ma-feature to, ma-adapt to as a TV show, American Crime Story.
Ano to? The People, Blake, kasi with The People versus O.J. Simpson na, di ba? So, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni, American Hollywood Story.
Ayun!
Di ba meron?
Pitch mo na yan kay
Ryan Murphy. Di ba meron ng American Hollywood
Ryan,
Story?
if you're listening, not Reynolds. Ryan Murphy.
Di ba may ganun na American Hollywood Story?
I'm not sure. American Crime Story.
Alam ko American Crime Story, oo. Pero...
American Horror Story.
Naisip ko pala, True Hollywood Story. Only the OGs know.
Pwede rin yan.
Tumatanda na. Sakit na ng likod ko. Alam ko na yung True Hollywood Story. Diyos ko, Mariosep. Anyway. Ay, grabe pala tong saga na to.
Eto, meron akong gustong itanong sa'yo. Bilang ikaw naman yung fan nitong itatanong ko.
Okay.
Kasi kasama din to dun sa case. Oh my God, ang dami talaga. Kulang yung 1 hour natin na episode dito.
Meron tayong hard stop dito. Sige, pero tayo natin isama. Go.
The nice pool character.
Kinuwento mo to sa akin a few days ago. Na parang, na siya, lumabas na siya dun sa he said, she said nilang dalawa. Na parang, ina-accuse ni Justin, si Ryan Reynolds, na yung nice pool character as presented in the movie. Kasi meron namang nice pool sa comics
Verified yan?
Baka ma-disinformation na naman tayo. Sige nga.
Kapag tinype mo sa Google yung nice pool, lumalabas nice pool Justin Baldoni.
Hindi. Hindi pala. So, walang nice pool sa comics.
So, it was conceived for the movie talaga by Ryan Reynolds. So, ito yung allegations na naman ng lawyer ni Justin Baldoni, ni Brian Friedman. He said na the nice pool character is a direct parang satire sa character ni Justin Baldoni being a feminist who has a podcast about feminism and may man bun din. Tapos he's just so nice. And that's basically
Justin.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, God! Naalala ko tuloy yung sa ending. Di ba yung, ang tawag doon yung nasa, yung alleyway na sila? Tapos, yung tinamaan muna si Nice Pool, di ba? Tapos, parang dadalhin daw nila doon sa may area na parang mayroong panggamot sa kabila. Ang ginawa ni Deadpool, ni Ryan, ginamit niyang meat shield.
And
si Nice Pool.
Who shot
Nice Pool? Si Lady Pool.
Played by? Diba the pettiness? I love the pettiness.
Oh my God.
Talaga, alam mo yung, oh my God, this case just keeps on giving talaga. And ang dami niyang movie references, movies that I love. So parang, wow, ang daming ganun, ang daming twists and turns.
Diyos ko.
And, add to that, ano yung background nung scene na yon where Blake Lively was, or Lady Pool was shooting Nice Pool.
Wait, what?
It was a flower shop, yes.
May flower shop dun sa tabi. Oh my, what?
Direct reference to It Ends With Us and Nice Pool being Justin Baldoni.
Oh my God.
And Lady Pool, Blake Lively, basically annihilating Nice Pool metaphorically.
Grabe nagko-cross ng mga
multiverse.
scene. Oo, nagko-cross ng multiverse yung away nilang dalawa. Ay, nako.
Multiverse of litigation.
Oh my God. Okay, so sinabi mo kanina na this is supposed to be a trilogy.
I'm not sure if trilogy
Or parang meron siya dapat kasunod na kwento.
Yung next novel dapat na i-adapt into a movie is It Starts With Us. Yun yung title.
Okay.
And that's the story naman of Lily Bloom and Atlas. Kasi, di ba, sa ending, nagkabaligan sila.
What do you think is the status of that project?
Well, you wouldn't see Lily Bloom as Blake Lively again.
Okay.
Hindi na mangyayari yun. Pero yung rights ng pag-adapt ng movie is with Justin Baldoni. So may theories then circling around that parang Ryan and Blake are trying to buy out the rights to the movie. Kasi by far, ito yung pinaka-successful daw na movie project ni Blake in years.
In years.
Oo, kasi in fairness box office success to.
Oo naman. Oo, talaga. It was quite a cultural phenomenon.
Pero, for the wrong reasons, perhaps.
Okay.
And yun nga yung critical response din kasi
medyo tepid.
Mixed. Pero, lagi siyang pinag-uusapan in the wrong context. Kasi, actually, isa pang mga feedback pa pala ng mga fans daw, nung It Ends With Us is yung wardrobe was decided on by Blake. Damit niya daw yung ginamit niya dun sa movie.
Okay.
So, parang, ang sabi ng mga book fans, parang hindi nila na-picture si Lily Bloom na ganun manamit. Na parang couture, mamahalin yung shoes. Kasi nga, in the book, she's a struggling businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
Pero Blake wanted to wear her own clothes. She wanted to, parang may mga nagawa na daw yung costume design na mga damit, pero hindi nagamit kasi ayaw ni Blake.
Talagang hinijack niya yung scene niya.
It appears so.
Okay.
Although allegedly.
Allegedly.
Di umano.
Okay, sige. Medyo tayo, baka maging...
Even the music actually was also... Ginamit kasi yung song ni Taylor.
Aling kanta niya?
My Tears Ricochet.
Okay.
So, parang ipinasok din nila si Beshi, Taylor Swift, dun sa movie. So, parang lahat ng lumabas dun sa movie has Blake Lively's fingerprints all over it.
And she was at first contracted simply to star.
Tapos nilaban niya pa daw na maging PGA siya dito na executive producer.
Oh, nakalagay. Produced by Blake Lively.
Kasi ano daw niya yun nilaban niya daw yun.
Oh my God.
And also, ito pa, during the red carpet premiere of the movie, Blake, and Ryan did not allow Justin and company to walk the red carpet ng kasabay sila.
What?
So parang kinip sila dun sa basement ng building.
What?
And there are photos na parang naka-gowns yung family and friends ni Justin. Yung Justin Baldoni party na nasa basement kasama ng mga bote-bote ng Coke, ng mineral water. Tapos doon sila nakaupo. Habang, kasi ayaw silang paakyatin kasi nandun daw si Ryan Reynolds, si Blake Lively. I think even Hugh Jackman was there.
Why?
Yan nga. So parang, shocks. Ang powerful nitong couple na to.
Well, I mean...
And to think na yung studio, si Justin Baldoni yung co-founder.
Oo nga, but bakit? Bakit parang ang lakas nila masyado?
Because he's just so nice.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, you were saying something earlier about yung PGA mark. Sorry, para lang dun sa mga nanonood na hindi masyadong familiar dun. Sometimes you will see this, especially, example, lagi sa baba dyan. Usually nakikita nyo to pag Marvel, yung mga Kevin Feige stuff.
PGA.
So, lagi doon, Kevin Feige, produced by Kevin Feige PGA. So, that means na the Producers Guild of America has certified that this person has performed a major portion of the producing duties doon sa film enough to earn the producer's mark certification. So, parang may mga tao dito, yung cinematographers, yung may ASC, editor, ACE, yung ganon. Sa producer, PGA. So parang grabe, nabraso din nila yung PGA into giving her a PGA credit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Powerful.
Power.
Yes.
Isang milyon. 2
Power.
milyon. 3 milyon. Milyon.
Number one.
Ay, nako, sige. Baka medyo humaba pa yung ating usapan dito.
Hindi pa siya tapos eh.
Oh my God.
It's still ongoing. Ang dami pa rin nare-release.
It does not end with us.
It never-ending story.
It never ends with us.
Yes.
Yun na yung susunod nilang sequel
It
dito.
never ends ever.
Oh my God. Anong ikaw? Sige. Tanangin kita. Personally, Angela Chikadora,
Okay.
saang side ka dito sa kerfuffle na to?
Actually, the overwhelming evidence is na kay Justin eh.
Na kay Justin ang
Yung overwhelming evidence.
yung supporting him.
Supporting his narrative.
Okay.
Na parang there was I'm pretty sure parehas naman silang may mga lapses in judgment. Parehas silang may mga faults. Pero parang Justin Baldoni is the underdog in this story.
Okay.
Kasi mas powerful syempre yung couple si Blake and Ryan. Kumbaga sa public perception, siya yung parang dehado.
Okay.
Kasi hindi siya kilala eh. Parang before this, who is he, di ba?
Tama.
Ang kilala ng tao, ang alam ng mga taong names, Blake and Ryan.
Blake and Ryan, yes.
So, parang nung nilabas ni Blake yung yung allegations niya, it really crippled the career of Justin Baldoni. And dahil nga dun sa Me Too movement and dun sa what happened between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, ngayon, people are more, parang mas nagsuscrutinize na sila kapag merong gantong allegations na parang you better prove this to be true. Kasi Amber Heard really took the feminist movement 3 steps backward because of her false allegations.
Well,
'di ba? Na nag-support din nung ang daming mga evidence against her claims. Na nagmukha siyang sinungaling talaga.
I think I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. So parang because of that, yung kay Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, lagi nilang kino-compare, by the way, tong case na to doon sa Heard-Depp case.
Heard. Okay. Pati yun merong Barbenheimer.
Heard-Depp.
Okay.
He didn't hear Heard because he was Depp. Ang corny. Sorry, last ko na yun.
Moving on.
Last ko na yun.
Ay, nako.
Pero, ayun nga, ano nga ba sinasabi ko? Teka lang.
Ito na lang, sige, ito na lang. What do you predict will happen? Even though, I think from what you said earlier, ano pa siya tawag dito, malayo pa.
It's an ongoing
It's an ongoing thing, pero if you were to parang provide your educated conjecture, kung saan dumadaan yung course ng batas dito, sino sa palagay mo mananaig?
I think they would settle with Justin kasi yung damage kasi mas nag-suffer yung career ni Justin eh.
Okay, so...
Tapos ang backlash ng perception is on Blake and Ryan. And nadamay pa nga si Taylor Swift.
So both parties are badly bruised in this.
Pero more so, Ryan and Blake's parang unblemished image. Kasi sila yung nasira dito eh. Parang ang daming mga personal texts na pinakita na how they would parang force Justin's hand into doing what they want. So parang talagang inaano nila yung power nila over the studio, over the director, to get their way. Basically, sila yung nasunod sa schedule ng shoot nung movie na It Ends With Us. Tapos, yung mga, yun nga, may uncredited writer pa nga daw si Ryan dun sa rooftop scene.
Talaga?
And alam mo ba na ni-reveal ni Blake yun sa red carpet event? Ang sabi niya dun sa nag-interview sa kanya, my husband Ryan wrote the rooftop scene. Nobody knows this but you now.
Alam mo yung Jackie Chan na, bang? Why?
Yes. So parang, I think overwhelmingly, nasira yung pristine image ng mag-asawa. Na parang they were the nicest couple in Hollywood. Parang ito yung medyo nag-crack yung image na yon. Although, I'm not saying na Justin Baldoni is a saint, siya yung martyr, siya yung inape, siya yung binuli. Kasi he is in a position of power as well, diba? Pero bakit niya hinayaang gawin sa kanya yon?
True. And if I'm not mistaken, kung tatandaan ko to correctly, yung podcast niya, his co-host resigned na walang explanation.
Oo nga eh. So, that we can only assume whatever reason. So pwede ring talagang dumistansya siya kasi nga yun na yung mga panahon na binabawi na yung awards. Kasi yun nga dinrap nga ni Blake yung lawsuit niya during the Christmas season na hindi makasagot, sa New York Post. By the way, Justin Baldoni is also suing New York Post kasi hindi nila ginawa yung due diligence nila to get his side first before publishing. So, the damage has been done. Tapos, yun nga yung nag-push dun sa mga tao na associated with him to cut ties. So, maybe, the host of the podcast also parang fearing the backlash on her, nag-resign siya kaagad. Kasi nga parang naging radioactive si Justin at the time eh. And he had no opportunity to defend himself and to air his side dun sa mismong New York Post na article.
New York Post article, yes.
Kasi, pinublish nila parang hours before, doon lang nila sinabihan si Justin na, may article na ganito ha, do you have a say in the matter?
During Christmas time, wow what a dick move.
Well,
grabe.
It's still their power. Mas may clout sila syempre sa New York Post. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds, di ba?
Grabe.
And Taylor Swift. Yun na yung power ng Dragons.
Diyos ko, Mariosep. Ay, nako. I don't think this hour or so na napag-usapan natin to is enough. Kasi sobrang lalim na itong saga na to. We're gonna provide links and references, Jesus Christ, doon sa away na to, sa description box nito. Kayo nang maggawa ng sarili nyong research about this kasi nga hindi pa siya tapos.
Hindi pa siya, it never ends.
Sige na. Kasi tapusin na natin to.
Okay.
Baka bumalik pa tayo ulit, isang oras pa ulit eh.
Okay.
Sige, bale, if you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, just email us at cinegeekspod@gmail.com or whatever your thoughts are, mga Mars.
Mga
Mga Mars,
Mars.
comment lang sa...
So, ito na nga. Comment na kayo.
Comment in the comment section below or on Spotify. Kung nag-enjoy kayo dito sa episode na to, let us know kung gusto niyo pang gumawa kami ng Chika Geeks episodes pa.
Chika Geeks?
Putek yan. Just go.
Oh my God. Pwede.
Thumbs up, like, share, subscribe sa YouTube. Give us 5 stars on Spotify. So, this has been Roy.
And Angela.
And thank you very much for joining us for this very special episode of the Cine Geeks Podcast.
Chika
AKA,
Geeks. The Chika Geeks Podcast. Where Hollywood, showbiz, and all things chismis collide. Bye-bye mga Mars.
Bye-bye mga Mars.